got a little out there on its own. The water's creeping up right here. They're praying. It was raining, flash floods, volcano went off, melted the snow at the top. They had a lahar and flash floods at the same time. It's all dark footage, but there's all kinds of rocks and pebbles and stuff in that water too. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. All right. Let's get started here. First of all, thank you all for taking a moment of your time to come on over here. Oh, and then let's get this loaded up and started here. All right, while we're waiting for that, thank you all for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. All right, take a deep breath, everybody. Here we go. May 12th, 2024. I'm going to let that loop play for a second. Let your trained eye kind of take it all in. You might have to darken it just a tad bit there. All right. And you can see down here, here's your date, May 12th. Okay. Oh, that's going to hurt. Okay, here we go. Give me an opening frame right there. Okay, opening frame. Here we are, 024, event underway already. You can see our little plasma in the center here, magnetic kind of field with the CME on the leading edge. Ow. Let me go through a couple frames here. Where's the one that I was kind of looking for? Yeah, right there is good. Just zoom in on this for you guys real quick. Over on this side, though. All right. Again, here you can see this little core right here, plasma around it, the outer little wave, probably right in a magnetic field line right here. Okay. So, looks to be something right in there, almost something bigger right in here, too. That might be a little inner magnetic field or something. We'll see here. But there's that shot right there. Clearly something going on there. Okay, let's continue. Let me just slide that down a little bit more for you guys. You see it there? Kind of trailing on out with plasma behind it here. You can see it on both sides. We'll go ahead and zoom in on that one. That's a better image right there. Okay, you can clearly see it here on this side, surrounded by plasma. Like that, right there on that side. And see how the plasma is streaming back behind, almost like flames, kind of. Okay. So, let me just leave that sitting there for a second and dim this a little bit. Kind of helps. Seems like the camera blinds it a little bit. All right, there we go. That's a little bit better. All right, you can see the object. You can kind of see the magnetic field or around it. You know, this little glowing area around it. Okay, let's see what's going on here in the chat. Somebody's having some issues. Okay, I think they're figuring it out. All right, good. Okay, we got to continue on with the show. We can take care of some stuff here in a minute. All right, so you can clearly see your object right there. All right, and you can see it on the other side too. I mean, it's plain as day what's going on there. And then as it moves on out, let's zoom on out. Let's step back in dimensions outside your peripheral. All right. Now, continue on. As you see this event leaving the screen, we have this another big CME coming off right here. Or, yeah, another blast. You can see our little black object kind of right in the middle right there. Is it showing up? Maybe if I scoot things over, centralize the computer. There we go. My bad. I'm not really all together today. Happy Mother's Day, all you mothers out there. All right, there's one right there. If I move it, you can see it. All right. Now let's continue on. We also have this one coming out on this side next, okay? And as it proceeds on out, you can kind of see this little bulge over here on this side. Little object possibly right in that area. Yeah, kind of, you can see it here, the ghost image a little bit right there. And then as we proceed on out, this little guy right here at the bottom, you can see the little plasma tail behind it. Is that, yeah, that's probably a good image right there. I'm going to go all the way in on it. I'm going all in on it. There we go. Pull it on over. Wonder what's going on there. Okay, that's a little pretty good. You can see the plasma back behind it. There's the ghost image back behind it. Okay, so whether it's the little black tip or the tip of this bigger one, however it is, you can see something here. It's putting the indentation in the instrumentation like usual. Okay, so there's a bunch of plasma attached to a black round spheroid. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Can you see it? Good. All right. Moving on. Oh, I wanted to show you this side too. What am I thinking? Huh. What am I thinking? Bear with me, you guys. I'm sensory overload right now, and I'm trying to. There we go. Look at that. That's a shot. Okay. Let's get out of here and move on. All right, continuing on as these objects move out of frame. See this little weird little CME going off over there. Some kind of, something right there. Oh, there it goes. All right. Now we have something coming off this region up here. There's your little object right up front. Do you see a round black spheroid object right there? interacting with the sun right there, wrapped in plasma. See the dent in the instrumentation and everything, stuff flowing around it. Okay, there's lamp 1. Let's continue on. And you can see how plasma flows over it as it's moving out. Here, let's do this a little bit. And back it up a little bit. I'm just going to click forward. Watch how the plasma flows over it as it's moving out. All right, so there's that one. If you look over on this side, it looks like there's some other ones kind of hiding in there. Something going on over here as well. Oh, another one down there. All kinds of them. This thing streaking over here, another one. You can see the V-shaped bow shock on that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, we have a sun diving comet in there too. This little dot right here, it's streaking in right there. Let's back up a little bit. See that? Can you see that guy streaking in there a little bit? Meantime, we had this one moving out of there. Okay, sun diver, full halo. And that's the full loop. So I'm going to go ahead and start that loop again. Just kind of let it play. Ooh, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, I didn't even have a chance to look at this yet before setting up. Wait a second. I see something right there. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, there's something bigger right here. Do you see the plasma dammed up on something circular right here towards the end? Something right in there, I think. Yeah, I can see how wide and tapered that was. There was plasma dammed up right there on something bigger. Right there, you can see the front of it right here. There we go. Yeah, there's a bigger object hiding in there. You see it now. You can see the front side of it right here. The back side would be in the plasma there. And see how the plasma is dammed up around the back side of it there. Thought I saw something in there. All right. Back to our report. Yeah, you can tell by the big tapered teardrop, backside bow shock, whatever we want to call it. All right, so there's your loop. Let me get it playing again there. I want you guys to watch that one more time here. Center it for you. All right. You guys can watch that for a second here. Give me a second. Open up another soda. Okay, there we go. All right, back to report. A lot of activity going on in the sun right there. Now let's come on over here to the solar ham. And ta-da, our color graph is back. So let's zoom in on it. And pull it on over. And as you can see, our last X-flare, well, that was our big one right there. We had one more right here. That was yesterday or 2 days ago. or yesterday. Here's today's box. This is what we just saw today, and we had one small X flare right there, X1. All right, and look how it's kind of slowing down, calming down. See how it's all mostly yellow, kind of going off. Now look how we've kind of calmed down a little bit. We had an X flare, but it's, see how we're kind of lowering slowly there? Or it looks to be like we're slowing or lowering. But something else I wanted to point out here. See this spire right here and this one right here? They're indicators that there's something still out there to go. You know, it's pointing like a needle, magnetic needle at something else. So we still have inbound activity to go in the future. Meantime, here's our activity. We had one small X flare right there, but so far it's tapering off and pretty quiet going into this next day here. Okay, so pull back a little bit. Okay, our let's go over here. Our indices are way up there still. 222. Our solar flux indice right there is 222, and a lot of area has been covered. So a lot of red right there still. Our X flare potential still at 75. Remember when we were looking at this a couple days ago and it said 60 and 50 a couple of days before that, and I was arguing, hey, it should be higher than 10, and I said 25, and that sounded crazy, right? Remember, just a week ago or so, that sounded crazy, right? Here we are, X flare potential 75 still in the middle of the proton. Oh no, the proton event looks like to be over. It looks like if it's over or it's dying off. That's good. Whew. Now, here we go. Our X flare, here's our last little X flare right here. This one right here is the 1.0. So far, just the one. Bunch of M flares today. We got 3664, the beta gamma delta that's rotating out of range. Here we have 3676 going beta gamma already. So that we'll have to watch that one next. Meantime, coming back over here to the 3-day geomagnetic forecast. This second impact or the next impact has yet to hit yet. And we were kind of thinking it would be today, and that didn't happen. And there was going to be auroras last night, and that didn't happen. So there's still some kind of wave of energy due to come, and they're predicting a G3 for tomorrow. Okay, I heard predicting other people say it's going to be another G5, but this is the glancing blow from the 5.8. All right, it wasn't a direct hit, but it's a glancing blow from the big X flare. So we'll see what happens here. Let's pray it doesn't go any higher than G3. We don't need any more energy. Also, what I would like to say is that G5 storm that we just endured, that was a good test. We endured it, and not too many problems. So it's kind of good to know that we can handle a decent blow. It's don't breathe. It's not totally secure yet, but it's kind of nice to know that we can handle a G5 storm without too many complications. So kind of a good test too. Meantime, G3 tomorrow, G1 on the 14th, and then kind of clearing up by the 15th. All right, now over here, our KP index, that was a huge, huge chunk of energy that we took in, and that includes all the yellow now too, all right? Remember how it went off the charts over here to the left? So we can actually use, this is another reference right here that goes back a little bit further. All right, this would be all the red bars over here. This big purple chunk right here would be all those red bars we saw. So it's just a different reference a little further back. So that whole chunk of red right there that we took in is what, going to be absorbed into, down to the core. We went back down to KP3, almost a little bit below 4 there. And then here appears to be some kind of smaller little impact. All right. KP 6.5 or whatever right there. And That's the last data that we have so far. But this might be our secondary impact already starting to happen. And you look over here at your auroras. Before they had some yellow in them, but they're it's fainting now. So let's pull them up here over on this one a little bit because you can see both. All right. And there was a little yellow in this region a while ago and a little yellow over here when it was rotated that way. But you can see they're not very far south. Okay, so there's no aurora show tonight or anything like that. So there's your auroras. What else was I going to say about this? Let's do the tracker, and then we can come over and read the article. Oh, that's our latest one right there. Play the little movie. All right. You guys enjoying the movie? Did you get your popcorn? All right. Boom. So, once it starts over here again, I want to kind of, can we anti-zoom edge? Oh, go back to that. Yeah, that way I can pause this. So, boom. Right here is our first wave. This is the G5 that we just endured. Okay. It passes. Then right here, you see our next wave hitting right here. This will be the combining of let's back it up a little bit. Okay, it's its own wave. It's not combining with anything. It's its own standing wave right there. So there goes the G5. Look at this gap in between the two waves here. So we got a good gap. And then, here, you see this little one right behind coming out, emerging. We got a little one right here, and then another one behind it that comes in, and all three kind of merge, but we're on the outskirts. Okay, so we might just get the G3 and nothing too much more than that. Okay, and they're not really showing anything else after that. See, that thing, it's not going to be much either. All right, so boom, bam, right there. So G3, and then it looks to be over for a minute. Okay, which is good. We don't need to be taking on 7 different waves just back to back to back to back like that. It could weaken the magnetic field. Oops, and another wave come in when we have a weak magnetic field, and it really penetrate deep and make people sick and do a lot of damage. All right, I should have moved that. Okay, let me just take a sip here. All right. This site would like to thank you for your support in the past few days. I don't think many people did get much sleep, as Solar Ham is a one-person operation. However, the extreme geomagnetic storm generated a record number of visitors to the website. Yay, good job, you guys. Now, appreciate everybody who continues to follow, blah, blah, blah. I would like to share with you an article I wrote detailing. Okay, you guys come over, read the article. I'm here for the news. Here we go. The 12th. Just when you think 3664 may have been running out of steam, it produced an X1 solar flare. This is now the 8th X flare produced by the chaotic active region. The large sunspot group continues to move closer towards the west limb, and any eruptions at this point should be directed mostly away from Earth. Okay, it's finally kind of past our magnetic field line hookup now. All right, that's about right here, and you see it's kind of closer to the limb now. So say goodbye to the thing that just caused us a bunch of nightmares, and we still have more nightmares to come from that thing. Not from this X flare, but from that sunspot and all the stuff it did. We're gonna see earthquakes and volcanoes from all of this that we absorbed. Okay. And we're going to continue to hit another G3, right? So we're going to absorb some more. Maybe not like this one, but every little bit right now is just adding more fuel to the fire. Okay. And there's no fire extinguisher for the core. Okay. Geomagnetic, that's, this is the 12th as well. The geomagnetic field returned to quieter levels, but for how long? Discover solar wind speed data just showed a jump from 812 to just over 900 kilometers again. Dang. Which may be a sign of another expected shock wave. It's about to pass Earth. A geomagnetic storm watch remains in effect for the next 24 to 48 hours. The slight uptick in solar wind speed, slight uptick, 900 kilometers per hour. Yeah, it's a slight uptick from 812. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so sublight speed to sublight speed, which may be a sign of another expected shock wave. Okay, where were we at here? Now, a slight uptick in the solar wind speed also contained a sector of northward BZ. Okay, that's good. It's coming back up. So this did nothing at all to help regenerate geomagnetic storming. Good. While the solar wind speed remains very high at 900 kilometers, above it now, just above 900, the BZIMF component is closer to neutral territory, yay, and has been in this state for several hours. Good. This is suppressing the geomagnetic activity, which currently sits at the moderate G2. A severe G4 to extreme G5 geomagnetic storm watch remains in effect for the next 24 hours. A severe to extreme 4 to 5 storm watch remains in effect. Okay, so even though over here it's saying G3 right here, we'll see. We'll see, okay? Everybody pray that it's a G3 and not 4 or 5 because we don't need all that much energy. We already got it too much. So let's pray it's not the severe or extreme G5 geomagnetic storm watch still remains in effect for 24 hours. Additional shock waves are expected to pass Earth. Okay, so Aurora Sky Watcher should remain alert. And there's another shot. Boy, how do I tell you this one? There's some videos out there that you're watching the auroras, but what you don't notice is there's a cloaked UFO. It's actually the shape of a UFO. You don't see the actual ship. It's just the silhouette, the outline, and the auroras are silhouetting the ship. Remember how the sun was silhouetting around spheroid? And it looks like these craft are gathering energy or bathing in the auroras. So I showed it to you. I showed some to you about a year or so ago from another channel, but that's all gone. I'm gonna have to see if I can find it again. But there are like craft that are, you know how the see-through orb, like I'm telling you, you can't see it, but they're just sitting right there. And they're bathing in all these rays and everything. And when you can't see it in a still like this, but when you put this into motion and you see the flow, watch some of these time-lapse videos. When you see the flow of the aurora, you're going to shit when you see it flowing around a UFO-shaped object. Oh, nuts. Anyways, let's keep moving. Okay, there's that. Let's move on. Come on over here to spaceweather.com real quick. The big storm is over. Forecasters say the storm is really now over. There's no chance of an additional G5 activity this week because all of the big CMEs have already come and gone. However, relatively minor G1 or G2 class storms are possible May 13th. Response to a glancing blow from this off-target CME. All right, so Some people think it's a G5, others think it's a G3. They think it could be relatively minor or G1. And when we kind of look over here, look right here. This is an impact right here. See the dip in between the waves? So your impact was like maxed out at KP6 unless we see, the next reading is a higher spike. But just like a descending ladder, see the first brutal wave, then it's going to descend like this. So I have a feeling that was it right there, and what KP 5.5, so G3. Anyways, we'll see. Difference of opinions. That's okay. We can all agree to disagree, but it's good to have the information so you can make a educated guess or whatever. Auroras in strange places. Yes, all over the place. That's at Las Vegas, south of me. I missed the pink sky. Kind of bummed, but it's okay. No, this is what I want to write right here. Exiting the strike zone now. Sunspot 64 is still a giant, easily the equal of the Carrington Sunspot, but it poses a declining threat to Earth. Why? Because it's exiting the strike zone. This picture from Philip Smith and blah, blah, blah shows the active region approaching the sun's western limb. And look how big it is to all these 15 Earths. How many Earths could you fit inside there? All right. CMEs emitted by the departing sunspot are no longer flying toward Earth. At most, only glancing blows are likely from eruptions on May 12th through the 14th. All right, the danger could return on the 15th, however. On that date, the sunspot will pass through a region of the sun magnetically connected to Earth via the Parker spiral. On the 15th, it looks like we're already past that. Looks like it's way over closer to the limb. I think they meant to say the 13th. Well, we'll see. Back to this, though. The danger could return on May 15th. On that date, the sunspot passes through the region magnetically connected to Earth. The Parker spiral, subatomic debris, protons and electrons from explosions on May 15th and 16th could spiral back to Earth and rain down on our planet. Let me show you something here. Let me pull this up. That one right there, please. Nice and big. There we go. So our IMF line, right, comes out of here, circles back around, and hits the Earth, right? So they're saying the 15th is when we line up with that. That's the end of the strike zone right there. That's where we connect to the IMF line. You see everything that's spiraling this way? If it's still inside the IMF line, remember, today's the 13th, it's still got a couple more to go to the 15th. Anything that comes out of it will come out inside the IMF line and still be able to get us. All right? It's not until, I guess, the 15th, once we pass this connected IMF line, that anything else that comes out will be behind it, will be carried away behind it. But anything just before it will still carry inside of this arc. Once it's past the outside of that arc, then we're all good. So we're not out of the strike zone apparently until the 15th, because that's right where it's located. Okay, and if we're at this position right now, 15th is way over here. I guess we'll see. Anyways, that might not be a very recent image either. So let's move on. Here's your Schumann now. Okay, this is some good news. This little grinding right here is not much. All right, we dodged a bullet. There's a little dimming right here. We have some good continuity right now. It's starting to maybe, let me just refresh this a little bit, see if we can get, all right, good. It's looks like it's starting to maybe begin to grind a little bit here, but if we don't have a lot of pressure released, we're gonna see, some grinding on this thing. Now, otherwise, it's all good. We got some good green, continuity right here, kind of back to normal for a minute. Now let's come over here. Here's your jet stream, your upper jet stream. Now it's totally changed. No longer are we getting this big feed off of here. It does bump over and come down, but most of the main jet is just the southern flow right here. Now as we drop down through that, there's your lower jet stream. There's your weather. Okay, so our jet stream flow pattern has changed now. All right, we still got this flow of moisture coming up, but we got a little clearing for a while until this next thing kind of pushes in some cold air. Where was it? Over. Where'd it go? Oh, guess it's over. There was a typhoon on here. Where'd it go? Oh, well, we're going to move on. Let me just pull this over now and get to our SO2. Actually, since we got the currents here, let's do the sandstorm instead. Okay, here we go. Current conditions, big old sandstorm, still blowing sand across the Atlantic from Africa. You see up here, we have this over the Gobi Desert, sand being blown all the way up here into Russia. And turn the winds back on. You can see the currents taking, sand from here, sand from Saudi Arabia, mixing it all together and taking it way up into, look at this, Siberia. They got sandstorms in Siberia. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, you see that big wall of sand right there, right? Heading right up to there. Okay, meantime, over China here, Gobi Desert stirring up a bunch of sand. They got scattered activity over northern Saudi Arabia this time. It's usually down here at the south, but a little change in the wind pattern takes this in a different direction and sends it to a different country. You see it like a fire hose just pouring sand right onto South America, right there. And you can see the wind currents bring that sand across the Gulf or across the Caribbean, right up into the Gulf. It gets caught up into our flow that's going up into America where our storms are coming up. So our storms are going to have some sand in them too. Okay, so there's your sandstorm report. Now let's come over to the SO2 and take the wind off. All right, there's America, a country divided, one side bleeding out. All right, look at how patchy it is down here in Texas. A lot of flooding and stuff has, plugged up the perforations in the ground momentarily, with water, so the gas can't escape. It might be like bubbling in some of the puddles. You see a little bit of bubbling coming up, and you're like, what the heck is going on? So, a lot of SO2, our pressure's up there. Look up here, see how dark and black that region is, right? Okay. We also, we can do this as well. I want to see something. Aha. Okay. I want to talk about this. These SO2 plumes, this gas coming out of the ground, is extremely hot. Okay. And I mean, it's the gases surrounding the lava. Okay. So when you got intense plumes like this that are super dark, emitting super amounts of super hot gas, it starts shit on fire. Okay. And it'll start forest fires from underground. And as you can see, we're having forest fires around these SO2 plumes. And that SO2 is not coming from the fire. Let me take this, well, we're going to leave the fire thing on it for a minute. Okay, that was happening all across Canada last year. Okay, all the fires had these most of them were the SO2 plumes. And the media won't tell you, hey, it's coming from underground. Everybody else, they're okay with you thinking it's a direct energy weapon because they don't want you thinking it came from underground. That's for sure. All right, let me take the fires off here. There we go. Now, as you can see, this pressure is built up over China here. They have a lot of dark patches in their region. So a lot of SO2 coming out of the ground here. It relieves a lot of pressure, but it definitely tells you which spot is like a big bruise on the planet, right? Who's the bruise on the planet? Okay, so a lot of pressure in that region. Then we come down here to Java, our relief valve, and take a peek on in here, see how well she's doing. A couple little hot spots right there. A lot coming out down here as well. So that's good. That's our relief valve. It's dark, so it means we got some pressure built up. Looking around the world, it's leaking out all over the place, okay? Was it 7-8 years ago, there were 4 little dots. Let me find 4 little dots. Here, like these 3 little dots right here. 1, 2, 3. Let's pull it over. Little dots, little ones like this, where there's like 4 of them on the coast of California. I think it was BP Earthwatch reported on it, and everybody freaked. They're like, oh my God, the big one. Now we got lots of dots, and no one bats an eye. Well, except for you guys. You guys notice because I report on it. Anyways, moving on. We do have pressure built up. That's what the SO2 is an indicator of. Now I want to come over here to the. Oh Lord, please let this be better. We have to back up 8 hours, I guess. There it is. So, water temperature anomalies. Hot water coming off of Japan up here. We got plumes growing out in the Pacific. All right, there's Tamumasi right there, and now we have a new hot patch coming out right here in the middle of, well, not middle of the Pacific, but just north of Hawaii and west of the, California, Oregon coast. Okay, so something going on the ocean floor, a lot of hot water coming out of that region. And like I was saying the other night, deep sea creatures that live in the Pacific don't like hot water. They're going to come up higher from the ocean floor to escape the hot water down there, and they're going to come up higher in the water column, and you're going to see some strange fish floating up. Stuff you've probably never seen before. All right, there's this patch around Hawaii or Japan. We also have Taiwan down here looking a little, well, looked like yesterday. Nothing really changed right there. It's when we start to see yellow like this surrounding the island that they're about to get a big quake because it's pressure building up down below. But for now, it seems to have kind of dissipated, and we got a new spot that seems to be emitting down there. And there's a spot in the Indian Ocean as well, over here off the coast of Africa. Oh, speaking of coast of Africa, I showed you the water bulge thing last night. We got new video of another different water bulge now. So we'll get to that here in a few. All right, I think we're done there. Good. Yeah, I just need to take a peek in there, kind of monitor this. All right, let's move on. Let's come on over to our earthquakes. Now, we did have this bigger size earthquake today, right here. I was talking about a step up in magnitude. So here's your 6.4 down at 75. Probably bigger. 6.4, probably more like a 6.7 or something. You never can trust these guys. So 6.4, probably a tad higher, followed by a 4.4 right there. So already we've seen an uptick in magnitude. Now that's nowhere near enough. Okay, so we're gonna. I would rather see a bunch of sixes or something than one big, mega quake, a 9 or a 10 or something like that. So already kind of starting there. Now let's get into our regular report. Still really quiet down below. Okay, no deep quake in this region yet. That tells me that all that energy that we are absorbing has yet to kind of reach the core. All right, because when it reaches the core, and you'll see on the Schumann here, unless we're getting an equal balance of pressure release at the same time, but I have a feeling we don't have a hole in the crust big enough for all of that pressure that came in. So until it affects the core, we're not going to see a deep quake out of this region yet. So let's come down to here. Here's a 5.9 down at 19. Now, what do we do at 9s at this place, and why? Okay, so we got us a 6, all right? There's 2 6s. This one over here, whoops, this one over here, right there, and another 6. So an uptick in magnitude. Coming over to this one, 5.2 at 10. Is that right on the boundary? Yep, good. Relieving energy right there. Surface quake, relieving energy. 5.2, again, same magnitude, but this is down at 272, just off of that pit. Something going on a little, it's not down super deep. It's about a third of the way down. Okay, so come over to this little region right here, 4.5 down at 204. 4.2 down at 64. Look at this up here at the fulcrum point finally. We have 4.4 right on at the surface on the fulcrum point. Totally relieving pressure at the surface right there. 4.8 down at 148. There's 3 volcanoes going off right here, and now you're also seeing earthquake activity right next to all 3 volcanoes. So that would be an indication of pressure, because the volcanoes were relieving it. We didn't see any quakes in this region because we had 3 volcanoes that are emitting, relieving the pressure in the region. And now if those 3 aren't enough and we're having earthquakes up here at our fulcrum point, it tells me we got a little bit of pressure building. Built and kind of relieved at the same time. All right, pressure built up and it relieved when we did those 2. I want to see what kind of energy made it over here. 3.1 at a depth of 10 being released on the plate boundary there. Let's see what's going on in here. Ooh, all right. So look at this. You see this little quake swarm going on down here? This is perfect because I was looking at the bigger quake down here is basically on the same fault line. This fault line goes right up, continues on up into California. So anything that happens down here on the Cocos Plate could affect California. When we see bigger activity down here, it has a tendency to push up this way. And I was hoping we would see some kind of relief valve along the way. And here we are. Here's Southern California, and your relief valve popped open just south of it. So here's our new weak spot in the crust. All right, our little earthquake flurry right here is relieving energy at the surface. The biggest quake is a 4.1 there. Bunch of 3.4, 3.2, 3.5, 4.9. That's a 5. Okay, so hey, we've had a 5 and a 4.1. 4.6. These aren't like microquakes. It's not like a flurry of microquakes like it looks like. These are mid-range 4s, a 5, mid-range 3s and stuff. All of those combined together are relieving a lot of the energy that just came up the fault line. let's just say this region right here just took a bullet for Southern Cal. Basically, that's your new weak spot right there. Now, further south of the Salton Sea there, okay? Look at this. All right, you see all this earthquake activity right here? This little city going on here. Do you see this volcanic feature right there? The crater with a dome in the middle of it? Unmistakable volcanic feature. And if you look around the edges here, this is the edge of it right here. Let's pull back. Oop. Well, kind of right there. That would be the flanks of this volcano, and we're seeing earthquake activity on the flank of this volcano, this extinct volcano. These guys better watch out. There's magma rumbling around underneath that. To tell you the truth, now that I see that, if we do have a breach in the crust, this would be a possible spot right here, because we're seeing all that activity right next to a volcanic feature. That's a hole in the crust that goes down to the magma. It's just plugged up right now. We could see possibly magma pop out right there if it can't make it out of that. Very interesting. Okay, let's move on down to this one real quick. Please, that's another 5 right there on the plate boundary quake, relieving pressure at the surface. 4 at the surface, 4.4 there, 4.4 there. Good, relieving pressure along the South American plate boundary there. Otherwise, all in all, that's a little too quiet. I want to see a lot more. This right here, forgot. Now, this big old lake, I've seen quakes here at this lake before, 4.3, but this isn't like a common spot. It's not your everyday average earthquake spot. When we have activity, like unique activity, sometimes we see a quake out of there. And to tell you the truth, unique activity that we've seen off the sun, this kind of is indicating another weak spot in the crust. This lake is very long, very deep. It reaches down. So there's a weak spot in the crust right there. If you look at the way the mountains curve, you can see a plate boundary kind of going like this. So it's right along some tectonic feature right there. That's a scar that's really deep down in the ground and filled with water. And we got quakes in it, in the actual scar. Okay. So, like a diverse quake almost. Here's another quake in Africa, 4.9, call it a 5. Another diverse quake, probably by a volcanic feature. Here's another 5 out here, relieving pressure at the surface on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge finally. All right, there's your earthquake report. Oh, actually, let's get into Hawaii real quick and see a current quake right there in red. It's a 2.6. I want to go all magnitudes today in this region. They had a few, not like the flurry we've seen before, but still quake activity here, a little bit further down the beach over here, relieving pressure underneath this volcano. Magma pushing up under there. This one's plugged up too. Okay, so we're seeing earthquake activity on the flank of it. I think that might be it for our earthquake report. Yep. Now, let's get on over here to this guy where, whoops, I gotta reset this. Where was it? All right, well, I will just back up from there then. Bear with me. We got to go back one time. Think it's right there. This is the one on the 9th? Yeah. Boom. 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 All right. So there's our water feature that we were talking about before, this bulge or whatever. That's the 4th time it's happened here. This one's not as big, okay, and it didn't last as long. And, I wanted to start talking about this, but we forgot the weather and the volcanoes. So let's bust it out real quick. Sorry. That's the after the science report type stuff. So bear with me. Let's get this model going here. I'll load it up. While you guys are taking a peek at that. There's your date and time. Okay. A lot of activity going on here. We got to keep an eye on our weather and this new weather phenomenon that I captured. We got this silhouetting happening that is the silhouette itself is the storm, and these spheres appear to be directing and causing weather. So we'll have to add that to the weather forecast amount. Okay, here we go. Current conditions, nighttime of the 12th. You can see we got severe weather down here in Louisiana, possibly into Mississippi, going into the morning of the 13th, noon. So noontime down in this area. Everybody watch out tomorrow at noon. There's convection. So tomorrow's convection. If we get hit with a G3 and there's added energy to this could blossom harder than it is. Also, there's some speckles going on in here. If we have added energy, something in this region could fire up too. Okay, so just because you see it down here and nothing there doesn't mean the coast is clear. Everybody, every day now with these, with the silhouetting effect happening now, it could pretty much be anywhere, any day. Okay, but here's our chart for right now. Okay, that'll be the convection of the 13th, and then we have the nighttime of the 13th. It was in this region that I recorded during convection in the nighttime hours, our silhouetting effect. Okay, so here we have same place, same time, or time of day. So we might see one of those bowling ball effect again. You know what I'm talking about? Nighttime of the 13th, going into the morning of the 14th. Right here, severe weather right here on the Gulf, the coast of Alabama, Mississippi, even Louisiana, even parts of Florida right there. Okay, and that's a morning time event. We might on the 14th, depends on what. Well, let's see. We came off on the 11th. Well, we'll see. But if we're in kind of geomagnetic storm or any kind of absorption event, can magnify that. So, morning of the 14th, noontime, convection, nighttime, morning of the 15th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 16th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 17th, right there in Oklahoma, noon, convection, nighttime. We got the convection there on the 17th again in this region, you guys. It's going to be over and over and over again here for the south. So you guys hold on. Get prepared now. Get a head start on it. Maybe if you want to evacuate. You're seeing what's happening to some of these places. They get a train of storms that go over them. Not only do they get hit by tornadoes, but then they get flash flooded out too. So, a lot of stuff goes with that. Large hail, high winds, flash floods, tornadoes. We're talking some of these storm fronts produce their own little miniature derechos, their own little wall of wind where they have to issue a tornado warning, not because of a tornado, but because of the incoming derecho, the wall of wind, 80, 90, 100 mile an hour straight line wind. Not a tornado vortex, but 100 mile an hour straight line wind, which can be devastating when they're long duration over time. Tornado kicks up to 120 and it's over in 30 seconds. We're talking 100 mile an hour winds that last an hour. Uh-oh. So a lot of these storms carry a lot of other side effects, right? So let me back up right there because that's convection the 17th going into the nighttime. So southern states into Georgia. Morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 19th, noon, convection, nighttime. Oh, bye, Southern Grace. Morning of the 20th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 21st, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 22nd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 24th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 25th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 26th, noon, convection, nighttime. Okay, the rest of that's a bunch. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that and that. We can get rid of that. And we can pull up a volcano report, bang this out real quick, and then get to town on the rest. So, look at the tower. See how high that blast went right there? That's an indication of our pressure. And that's from Ebu. Reached 6,400 meters. All right, that's a big blast for that little guy. It's usually not that high. 16,400 feet out of Ebu. Remember I was telling you some of these are going to jump? Luatolo, 6,000 feet. Semeru, pumping at maximum, 15. Ducono, 9,000. Fuego, 17,000. Sangay, 19,000. Reventador, 14,000. Sabancaya, 21,000. Ubinus, weak emissions. Your Binus has weak emissions. Okay, now backward in time, back to what was yesterday, what was today, and now yesterday. Shivaluge. Okay, that's on the Kamchatka Peninsula where we're seeing earthquakes as well. Okay, long old article you can read. Manam, 15,000 feet. There's another tall blast right there. Semeru, 15 again. Ducono, 8,000. Popocatépetl, 19,000. That one might get taller. Santa Guido, Fuego, 17. Nevada del Ruiz. That'll have a good blast out of it pretty soon. Reventador, 14. Sabancaya, 33. All right, now we're getting into the 30,000s. Sabancaya was what, 24 or 20 something the other day? And here we go. There's a big jump right there. Just like I was kind of trying to tell you guys. I'm not trying to predict this, but I was like, we talked about this yesterday. Okay. Look at Ubinus. 22,000 out of it. So huge, huge jump. Huge jump. The other one, very top that we saw. That was a huge jump too. This one, Ebu, huge jump in altitude in the height of the blast. The higher it is, that means it took a lot of pressure to shoot it that high, right? So all indicators of our pressure down below. And then when you see a blast like this, it has relieved some of the pressure. So when we go back to the Schumann, I took it down. When we go back to the Schumann, sometimes as energy comes in, it gets extinguished or recycled right away, and we don't see the buildup down below too quickly. But indication, pressure been shoved out, and some has been relieved, but I doubt if that's going to be enough. We're going to be seeing high plumes like this. That's for Aventador. Okay, so I'm going to be seeing a lot more of those here pretty soon, I think. Pray I'm wrong, but we all know how this works. Okay, now we can get back over to this and yeah, okay. So we saw the bulge. Now, oh wait, ad. Gag me with an ad. Really, if you really wanted to take your enemy out, you could just hit them with a bunch of ads, add them to death. Okay, where is it coming up? Right. This is that Impossible channel with James LaFleur. And go over there, give him a thumbs up and a like. This is a new video from, well, there's no location on this, but very interesting capture here. Let me just back it up because I want the whole picture for you guys and audio. Listen to James for a second. Watch this.
Like, for instance, this very strange video posted by the Dashman. In it, you can see some sort of anomaly going on in the lake. It's as if there's something invisible bending the fog and the lake. Now, even though some people say that this is a natural phenomena, others believe that this could be a glitch in the Matrix. But this is definitely something that if you showed your friends or family, they would not believe it unless...
There's Van image right there. Okay. So another bulge in the water. Back behind here, this is the shoreline running back behind the lake right here. Here's our bulge in the water right here, and it's also causing the water in the air, the fog, to lift as well. Okay, so here we have another bulge in the water captured, and the fog bow is also a perfect indicator. There's gravity, something going on right there. So we saw another water bulge on a different body of water because this is the same image as the one on Lake Erie. Come over here, take a look, see what you think. Maybe it's not. You can be the judge too. But when people said they see the water bulging and then the little fog over it doing it too, it captures your attention. You're like, what the heck's going on out there? So it looks to be that we have another one of these bulge in the water effect captured on camera. All right, and then we come back over here. Well, zoom in here. Let's take a look. This isn't like, you see all the little white waves going across this way? That's a bunch of little waves going in that direction that are 15 and a half feet high. When you come over to, whoops, let me slow down. Yeah, Lord. Can we have our color back? Oh. So when you look at this red area, that's a series of waves that are roughly 36 feet high, right? Where's my image now? Over here. Let me pull back here. There it is. Okay. So the color denotes the height of the wave. This is not a wave. It's a bulge in the water, and when we go through the wave or the height, it increases in height. Okay, so it's a dome shape in the water. Water is running off of it. It's kind of running down the sides. It doesn't really show it in these little white waves, but if you see the black ones in the background, it's running, cascading down the sides of this bowl, of this big bulge. Okay, and this is the fourth time it's happened. It could be something else, but say if we were to have a gravitational exchange with another object, it would do a bulge like this in the water. It would lift it up in a dome-shaped fashion. And I showed you the silhouetting effect. Let's which one first, Lord? Silhouetting or Mother's Day? Let's do the silhouetting effect real quick here while we're on it. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Most of you know, but I see a couple of people scratching their head going, what's he talking about? It was right there. coming off of this first one, going into a bigger one back behind. Now, when let's just go to this one. That one's pretty crystal clear. Okay, there is a spheroid sitting Indian style with her hand. All right. There's a spheroid shaped object moving through the air. The air is going over it, rising up higher, condensing and forming, forming clouds. Let's back up a little bit right there. There we go. There you can kind of see the base of the ball. This is a ball. A sphere is a ball shape. A 360-degree circle is a sphere. You can see the way the weather and the flow going over it paints the shape of the sphere. There is something other going on in our atmosphere controlling our weather. Here, let's go back to the very beginning here, too, because there was a smaller one in front of it. Okay, this is what made me, you see the little jump in data there. Boom, that's not missing data. That's a jump in the storm. Something came and nudged the storm. There's a small spheroid, whoopsie, up front here that got nudged by the bigger one that you just saw. And that's what makes the storm poof really fast. I move around too much here, but all right, you see that little nudge? Let's see if we can get hold still, and you can see stuff firing off the top of the sphere right there, okay? Let me get. All right, you can see these little yellow streaks right here are firing off the top of this round spheroid that's right in this area, okay? After it goes over the top, that air gets cold up there and condenses and turns into rain, all right? So there's a round one right here. The bigger one back here gave this one a nudge down this direction, and that's what you first saw there in the opening. All right? So that's a smaller one that's out front right here. And the bigger one is back up here. And you can tell by the tail that streams off of it. That's the vortex that comes off the backside of the sphere. See this? See these clouds up here going over it? If I can just hold this video, I was jumping all over the place trying to capture this. All right, so there it is at the very beginning. And then as we got towards the end of the night, you see it right here, right? You see this ribbon tail that it created as it moves offshore. And you see how it creates the weather out in front of it. Weather goes over it, right? That's the same region that we're going to have severe weather again. So keep an eye out for this. Now, here's the tail. Once air goes over the sphere, it comes back down into a focal point, and that air is twisting like a rope. It's folding over itself and coiling, and it's like a rope in the air, and it's creating its own weather. Okay, so we have other factors in our weather. It's not just the moisture in the air. It's not just energy from the sun hitting us as well. We got these things causing problems over the planet. Okay, say if one of these were to, you can see how it affects water, because this is water. Air has water in it. It's water vapor. So you see how it affects water in the air. Do you think that maybe possibly it could be affecting the water like that? That maybe our spheres are the culprit for these bulges and these, and these bulges? And they just don't know what's causing them or whatever? or they just can't tell you. But evidence on an instrument that's known for its accuracy, it's not known to glitch at all. At all. The site is known for accuracy. Known for its accuracy. So, when you see something on this, that's a pretty accurate reading right there. And then, if it was a glitch, well, then why are people capturing bulges in the water? There was the one at Lake Erie right before the eclipse. Now, this one. So, it is happening. At least it's happening here, or it's happening. Something's happening. I'll let you be the judge of that. Okay. Just interesting that here we have another one of these events captured on film now. And I'm sure we'll be getting more. So, your weather down in this region around this time frame, right where we had the storms coming through, right here, right there. Boom, 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 boom. You see it right here running along the Gulf Coast. So I'll be watching in that area again to see if we catch one of these things again. And I've seen them already on a bunch of other storms, so they're all over the place. Still like the Nobel Prize in weather physics or something, but I'm sure some other hack will get it. Anyway, enough of that. There's your water bulge, kind of new evidence of our effect happening, okay? Because of either planetoid bodies, the spheroid shaped structures moving through the air, hovering over a certain place, maybe could lift up water. It's lifting up water into the air. It's lifting the water in the air up to a higher altitude. So, electromagnetic resonance, you could lift the water, this sphere could go over the ocean and lift up a bulge of water. Yeah, there's way more going on up in your skies than meets the eye. All right. Well, now it's starting to meet the eye, isn't it? When I point this stuff out, now you see what I'm talking about, huh? And if that's not happening, if that's not the case, if it's just the storm doing that and there's no spherical thing in there, it's called denial. Too scary to contemplate. So your brain goes into denial. All right, so boom, 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 boom. And you see the lady kind of sitting there meditating for the last little bit. All right, so let's get into the Mother's Day gift for everybody. Happy Mother's Day for all you mothers and for all you children. Did you call your mother today? All right, so here we are at this video where we were going to pick up one night and it glitched out and we never got to cover this. What you're about to see here is Mary, okay? And this is the image right after the Revelation 12 sign happened. All kinds of stuff happened to me, right? And very traumatic event happened and I'm out in my garage crying, screaming, and praying. I'm in anguish, okay? Physical, spiritual, emotional, all three happening at the same time. Never happened to me before. Never felt this sensation before where I'm crying, screaming, and praying all at the same time. All right, this happened on October 5th, the day after we saw the baby born in the garage. Guys all remember seeing the baby? If not, we'll get to that in a minute here. But before I play this, I want you guys to think about this for a second. Jesus, God, is the Father, right? Well, who would be the mother? Everybody thinks, oh, Mother Earth, Mother Earth. No. Who gave birth to Jesus? Who was the mother of God? It was Mary. So, happy Mother's Day, Mary, because not many people stop to think about this mother right here. Same with Father's Day, too. Everybody, oh, happy Father's Day, happy Father. Who's the biggest father of them all? Goes unnoticed. So, I want you guys to watch this and wish Mary a happy Mother's Day, because if it wasn't for this woman giving birth to that man, and going through some of the old photos and running them through the filter, and this was one of the first ones that I had ever captured. And what's going on here is I'm here on my knees. I'm crying and screaming and praying, all three at once. I was in some extreme anguish. Paranormal traumatic event happened to me. Something so unbelievable you guys wouldn't believe it. So if I told you, so I'm going to show you instead. So in this image here, I'm sitting here praying, and Mary's head appears right next to my head, and we're going to zoom in on this. You can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way. Let's see, there's pretty good. And you can make out her eye and her nose coming down, her shawl coming over, and it's in shadow right here. This is a shadow of the inside of her shawl going over her head like this. Here's her eye, her nose, her other eye would be on the other side there. Okay. You can't go in too tight on it. And then also is this white ball with an eye in it, this white orb with an eye in it. Okay, and that's not all, because over here in this corner up here is an angel. The silhouette of an angel with his wings spread, with his back to us, standing in a shaft of light. Here's his head. There's a glow over the head. The wings are extended, and there's a feather coming off. The last feather coming off is crossing over these brown roof tiles in the background here. And you can make out there's an angel right here. And you can even see his head right here. Going a little bit tighter. So there's the angel with his back to us and his wings spread. Yeah, you can see a lot better with the filter. Before it was really faint and it was hard to see. Same with this. This came out a little. All right, so you can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way. Okay, hopefully you guys can see Mary there. It's like a 3/4 profile. She's looking down at my head. There's her nose running down right there. Here's an eye on one side of it. The other eye would be kind of in the yellow ball over here on that side. She's looking down at my head. This black area is the inside of her shawl. If you've ever looked at like a candle or a painting of Mary, it always shows one side of her shawl is in shadow. Okay, so that's the shadow on the inside of her shawl. It's going over her face right here. She's looking down at my head. What happened was just nuts. So I'm in anguish, and she came to console me. So, if God is your father, and she would be the mother, so everybody say happy Mother's Day to Mary, because she's the one that went through all the labor and all the trials and stuff. She had a very traumatic life going through having this guy as her son. So she had a very hard life too. So it's okay to wish Mary happy Mother's Day. I know Jesus would wish Mary happy Mother's Day. So there she is right there, your mother, your ultimate mother, your spiritual mother, your, well, the mother of God. She gave birth to Jesus, right? So, for Mother's Day, not many people think about Mary, but she is the ultimate mother. So, happy Mother's Day, Mary. Okay. All right. Then, the day before this event right here, okay, the day before it happened, this event happened, and we've seen this one. We showed this the other night.
And this was actually captured the day before the other picture, but I hadn't found it for years later until I was digging around through my old pictures and stuff and went even further back to see if I'd missed anything, and I captured this one. And we're going to zoom into this streak right up here, this one right here. Just bear with me for a second here. Now, hopefully, you can see that we have a lady's profile here. Here's her eye, here's her forehead, her snub little nose, here's the bottom jaw. She's smiling, she's looking down, and she's holding a baby. And here's the baby's head right here. Here's the face, the back of the head. Here's her arm cupped around like this, and she's holding the baby. Now, I'm going to run this through the filter real quick, and it's going to enhance it, but a little bit too much. See, now you can really make out her profile a lot better and see her face, and her headdress is coming over and going down back behind her. And you can still make out the baby's head right here.
Okay, can you see that one? That's the Revelation 12 baby right there being born. And guess what? We have another mother. And she gave birth to the entity that will rule and reign with an iron rod. So, two mothers. To both of them, happy Mother's Day. Okay? There are spiritual mothers as well. Okay? So, you're looking at two different mothers, Mary and then this mother as well.
And maybe if I pull back a little bit, there we go. And this was captured on October 4th. So this was about 11 days after the Revelation 12 sign. All this stuff started happening to me just prior to the Revelation 12 sign and then right after it. So it said the woman was about to give birth. Well, it looks like maybe she gave birth, and here's the little baby being caught up to God.
Okay. So, that happened, 11 days after the Revelation 12 sign. The woman was pregnant. She was about to give birth. The dragon stood in front of the woman to devour the child before or when it was born, right? Well, the dragon missed. The child was born in my garage, or in my manger, if you were to go back in time. That would be a manger type structure. And well, that's where this entity was born. This spirit, this second coming right here. Okay. In my garage. Hint, hint, clue, clue, miracle, miracle, hint, and clue, all three in one. There's a mother giving birth right there, and then there's a mother right here consoling her son. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. I know we got a lot of ladies in this crowd, so to all you ladies, good job. Not an easy job. I know I'm a single father, so I have to be mother as well. And I know it ain't easy. Where are we going next? Lord, where are we going next with this? Okay, so this setup in the background here, the kid's toy I was using as the sun, and this beach ball was Nemesis, and that little tube laying on the floor was the conduit, and I kind of propped it up in between and was taking pictures of our sign and the sun. This is the Nemesis, and this was the sun and that conduit, right? So I was trying to give a three-dimensional display of that two-dimensional image I showed you that happened on September 10th, right? So September 10th happened. Then September 23rd, the star alignment happened. 11 days later, this baby is born in my garage. All right, that baby's born 11 days after the star alignment. So she gave birth. The very next day, After something very traumatic happened to me, the very next day, I'm out here a wreck, absolute wreck. And I didn't know what was happening. I'm just crying, screaming, and praying. And this is what was captured on the security camera. It's admissible as evidence in a court of law. Okay. Also, what you're looking at here, it seems kind of odd, but you see that angel over on the side over there? Well, let's get the whole picture in one shot right there. Okay, so we have Mary, we have God, the God eye, the orb with a freaking eye in it. Have you ever seen an orb that has an eyeball in it? No, most orbs are just an orb. This one has an eye in it. Here's Mary, here's the God eye, and here's an angel over here. All right? Well, usually where there's an angel, God, and Mary, there's Jesus too. Usually when you see a painting or any kind of picture, when they're there, all four of them are together. So there's an angel, there's God, there's Mary. So Jesus is in the picture if you know what to look for. This is an anointing ceremony. You know what anointing is? Real stuff, you guys. That's Mary. That's real Mary right there. Okay, and this isn't a Catholic thing, all right? A lot of people go, oh, you're a Catholic. No. It's not a Catholic thing at all. She is the mother of God. She's still part of the story, okay? A very important part of the story that gets overlooked, especially on this day, and I don't like that. I think she should be celebrated more on this day. Even though Jesus should be celebrated, I believe that she's divine too. She should be appreciated as a mother. Okay, that was enough of that. Where are we going now again with that? Oh yeah, we can do that one. Let's show you another angel here around the same time.
Ever wonder how far your Wi-Fi?
That's not an angel.
With Wi-Fi Halo, the most stable form of Wi-Fi, your Lorex cameras can be.
That is.
Howdy folks, welcome back. So I'm real excited to show you this one. This is an angel that was captured on my security cameras, and now I've run it through the filter here. So if you turn your head to the right about 45 degrees, you can make out the head, the hair, the breasts, it's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick because this one's nice and clear that you can. Okay, and this is an angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child down below here. So, zoom in on it again. Just excited that.
All right, there you go. Hopefully you guys can see that little angel hovering right there. Maybe I'll go full screen a little bit better there for you. All right, and don't ask me why, but got breasts. It's a female, and wings and some kind of weird hat. It looks. What's funny is this kid wears a baseball hat, a white baseball hat sideways with the brim over to one side. And it appears that this angel might be wearing a similar baseball hat pulled to one side. I don't know. It's not a crown. It's not a halo. Every time I look at it really up close, it sure looks like a baseball hat with the brim pulled to one side. And the kid sleeping down below wears his hat that way. So very interesting capture there. That's a real angel, you guys. Okay. That is the spiritual realm. Okay. This should bring ease to your heart right there, right? That should bring ease to your mind when you know that there are angels, they are real, they watch over you, they protect you. When we get in here, let me just zoom in a tad bit more here. If you notice back here, there's a demon-like entity right here, evil eyes and teeth, the nose. This thing's right here is trying to induce his kids bad dreams and nightmares, and this little angel's hovering over and protecting him. So, not just the angel, but you can see this entity in the background as well. Okay? So, let me go back to a little bit further back here and just describe it one more time.
About 45 degrees. You can make out the head, the hair, the breasts. It's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick because this one's nice and clear that you can. Okay, and this is an angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child down below here. So
again, with these blurry shafts of light, you see these? Like sometimes the wind will kick up and you'll capture little dust streaks blowing in front of the camera, right? And the dust will blow through and it'll leave a little streak. This is not a dust streak. This is more of a shaft of light. You saw the other angel with this weird eerie streak coming off of it. I refer to it as a shaft of light. Don't know any other way to describe it, but you can see that it's light coming out of another realm, casting out, and here's this angel. It's illuminating the angel that's there, or something's going on like that.
Zoom in on it again. Just excited that you can see it a lot clearer now because before it was kind of faint, and now with these filters I'm able to make these images pop a little bit more for you guys so you can see them.
Okay, and then not only are we capturing angels and stuff, I showed you the ones bowing before. Let's just pull that one up real quick too, because that's part of this stage that we're at right here. It's been a very traumatic experience for me, okay? I'm just a normal guy. I'm not a big ghost hunter type dude, you know. I was plagued with UFOs my whole life. I knew what they were because I'd seen them all my whole life. So I was more of a ufologist because I knew they were real. But none of this stuff was like even remotely in my peripheral or anything. All right, so now what you're looking at here is a series of about 10 to 20 pictures all stacked together in a flip book. I had recognized with that other angel that if maybe I could get some kids sleeping on the couch down there again, maybe an angel will get captured over some sleeping kids again. Well, little did I know, a couple days later, my kids come home with a new toy, and they're like, "Yeah, Dad, we're going to go down to the garage, and we're going to stay up all night playing with this toy." I said, "Okay, not all night, but I'll let you stay up for a while, and, you know, it's your new toy. You can play with it." And then about hour or so later, it gets really quiet down there. And any parent knows when it gets quiet, you better go check and see what's going on. I go down there, and they're passed out. They're asleep. And I'm like, dude, it's 7:30 at night. You just got your new toy. You're going to stay up all night with this thing. And both of you are knocked out cold, huh? So they both got up groggy and went up to the house and went to bed. And I didn't think much of it until the next day or two. And I was like, yeah, that was kind of weird. The kids were sleeping on the couch there. Oh, the kids were sleeping on the couch in front of the camera. Oh. So I ran out there, got the camera, started downloading the frames, and I'm looking for a single little angel like we just saw hovering over the kid, right? This is different. Here we have two big angels. There's a wing right here. Another wing coming up right here. There's another one back here. These two angels are on their knees bowing. And you can see, if try not to look straight at it. It's best seen in your peripheral vision. So if you kind of look right back here at these boards on the wall, you'll see out of the peripheral, you'll see these two angels locked wing and wing bowing. So like I said, you try to look straight at it, it's hard to see. So focus on some point here or there, and you'll see it out of the peripheral of your eye. You'll see this head of this angel come up. And these black areas are the inside of their wings. Okay, the shadowed cup areas inside their wings. So let that play for a second. I think all of you can see that, right? Yeah, I think you guys can see that. All right. So, another beautiful image of the spiritual realm is real. Okay. And here we've captured a couple of angels. They're on their knees and they're bowing. They know that I set the camera up to capture angels, and especially when kids were there sleeping. So they knew my intent, and they showed up just when they should, when the kids are sleeping on the couch. So I would go to look for it when the kids are sleeping on the couch, and they showed up there, knowing that I would come back and look at this because the kids were sleeping on the couch with the camera set up there. So they showed up to show me that, yes, here we are. Here's your kids sleeping on the couch with the camera set up like you were trying to capture us. Okay, here we are. And they're bowing. Something you need to know. Angels only bow to God. All this stuff is happening to me. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then no one believes me. I've been through psych wards, through jail, through all kinds of mental institutions, all kinds of stuff, because nobody would take a minute to look at what I had discovered, to see what was happening. They just all blew it off. Oh, you're seeing angels. Yuck, yuck, yuck. And I'm like, okay, doc. Tilt your head to the right. You see this leg here? You see this leg here? You see the boobs, doc? All of a sudden, the doctor's jaw drops. And I go, what's wrong, doc? Are you seeing angels? Maybe you should start taking some medication too. You know, let's get you on these meds and stick you in a rubber room because you're seeing angels too, doc. But nobody would give me a chance. Huh. And such beautiful images too. Didn't they miss out? Well, let's just say along the journey, I've helped a lot of doctors. I've helped a lot of people in the mental health industry who thought that they were the sane ones helping the crazy ones when they had no idea that they themselves were crazy. Yeah. Right there. There we go. So there's your angels bowing. All right. A little something kind of bring a little different ease to your heart here. We got a lot going on. It's very stressful. Even some of the images in the clouds and stuff can be disturbing. So every once in a while, it's good to see just some peaceful angels hovering over some sleeping kids. Kind of brings peace to your heart a little bit when you know, no matter how old you are, you're still a child of God, right? So you got angels that are watching over you when you're sleeping too. Okay, and that should bring some peace and ease a little bit. Okay, and then we'll also show you your real peace, your real ease actually come from this right here. And I keep showing you this over and over and over again because this is your foundation. This happened on Easter. You got to wrap your head around that. It happened on Easter. A 2,000-year-old prophecy came true, not on Valentine's Day, not on the 4th of July, not just some random day of the week. On Easter. Another holiday that's celebrated by hunting for eggs and eating chocolate rabbits, when it's really about this guy. right? So Mother's Day, a mother goes unrecognized. Father's Day, father goes unrecognized. Easter, father goes unrecognized. Christmas, father goes unrecognized. When is a day for Jesus? Every day. You got me? Every day is your Jesus holiday, especially when you have this as your foundation. And make Christmas look like a romper room. All your other holidays are drinking holidays. Drinking holidays. What do you do on the 4th of July? What do you do at Christmas? I bet you there's a lot of drinking done at Thanksgiving too, huh? Memorial Day. Well, yeah, we do wasted on that one. Valentine's Day. You and your lady get wasted. So, I mean, Cinco de Mayo. Well, no, that's when the Latinos get wasted. Wow, is there a holiday that we just don't get wasted? Is there a holiday where we actually truly celebrate the Creator? Well, that's okay. It can be every day or it can be any day here at this channel. Okay, dokie. I think, should we do some reading now or you want to see some other images here? I was trying to leave it peaceful note there. I don't want to go in the other direction there. So, what else can we show them? I think it's probably good right there. We got that one pulled up. Let's just pull up this one as well. The spiritual realm is real. You guys are going to be okay. As long as you choose to be okay. We could choose the other way, but that wouldn't be advisable. I'm trying to get to this one down here. Thank you, Lord. It's right there. And I'd pull up some of those other videos and stuff for you guys to watch, but you should be going over there and kind of sneaking through and seeing what that one thing what was that I saw in the background? Well, go over there and scroll through the videos. There's videos, there's live, there's community, there's all kinds of different avenues on my channel. Everybody has those options. Okay. Right there, hopefully. Just come in there. You can see Jesus pulling his shirt open, the love radiating out, making my face in the clouds. Yep, that's my face with a crown in the clouds. Kind of like that's my face with a crown in the clouds. Kind of like, oh, Mary, when I showed you there. Okay, it's my mom. She came to console me when I was in anguish, like a good mother does. All right, so we got that, and I think we're about ready for reading. And we got that. Let's get this a little bit further, right? I want a better image or closer. There we go. Now you can see it a little bit better. Not so much concentrated on my face. I want you concentrated on my heart. Okay. So, let me get the light. Whew. All right, well, you're kind of looking at that. You're wrapping your head around all this stuff going, no way this is possible. Well, anything's possible with me. And when you're looking at this, here's my face in the clouds, okay? Here I am in the clouds. You're interested, you're fascinated, you're caught up with me in the clouds. Okay? Now, if you're enjoying this live stream in cyberspace, you are caught up with me in the clouds and you have met me in the air of cyberspace. So, take a deep breath and learn to enjoy life more. Relax, remembering that I am God with you. I crafted you with an enormous capacity to know me and enjoy my presence. So when my people wear sour faces and walk through their lives with resigned rigidity, I'm displeased. When you walk through a day with childlike delight, savoring every blessing, every treasure, just every breath, when you get to the stage where you're savoring everything, when you walk through each day with childlike delight, savoring everything, every blessing, then you proclaim your trust in me, your ever-present shepherd. The more you focus on my presence with you, the more fully you can enjoy life. Glorify me through your pleasure in me. It's okay to go have fun, but glorify me in your fun. Okay, I want to have fun with you, right? Doesn't everybody kind of want to join in when there's a party and you want to be invited into the fun, right? Well, I do too. So invite me into your pleasure as well. The more you focus on my presence with you, the more fully you can enjoy life. Glorify me through your pleasure, and thus you proclaim my presence to the watching world. I am yours for all eternity. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who is and was and is to come. The world you inhabit is a place of constant changes, more than your mind can absorb without going back into shock. Okay? Again, this world you inhabit is a place of constant changes, so many changes it's more than your mind can absorb without going into shock. All right, just like this channel is more than your mind can absorb without going into shock. And that's why we do this at the end here to help you calm down, stay focused on me. You see my face, stay focused on that, because the world around you is constant changes and it's more than your mind can absorb without going into shock. Even your body you inhabit is changing relentlessly in spite of the modern science's attempts to prolong your life indefinitely. You know who prolongs your life indefinitely, right? It ain't science or doctors. They give you a brand new heart and you get in a car accident that day. They can't prolong your life. So, even your body is changing. Science cannot prolong your life. I, however, am the same yesterday, today, and forever. And because I never change, your relationship with me provides a rock-solid foundation for your life. This bonding time that we're having together right now, this time well spent with me, is giving you that rock-solid foundation that you need. And what you need to know when you see that is that I never change. Okay? And because I never change, I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever. Okay? So the one constant that you can count on, right? Everybody else is wish-washy. They'll flip-flop on you and they'll turn around and stab you in the back, right? Well, not one. There's one person who won't do that. Okay? And because I never do that, and because I never change, that's what makes your relationship with me this rock-solid foundation. Okay? It's not about going to church. It's not about religion. It's about being here with me right now, enjoying our relationship. You're getting to know me. I'm getting to know you. Hey, we're getting to be friends here. Cool. That's a relationship. Okay? And when we're building this relationship, I need you to know. I need you to know that I never change. I need you to know that I was the same last time that I am this time. And I'll be the same next time. Okay? I never change. I'm that rock solid foundation on which you can build on now. Okay? And not only am I that foundation, I will never leave your side. You're stuck with me. Yeah, isn't that great? I think that's pretty cool. So I give you that rock solid foundation for your life to build on. And also, I'd never change and I'm always by your side. So when you move on from this life to the next, my presence beside you will shine brighter with each step. You have nothing to fear because I am with you. You have nothing to fear because I am with you for all time and throughout eternity. Throughout eternity. That's a long time. In fact, that's so long of time that I am the God of all time and all that is. Seek me not only in your morning quietness, but consistently throughout each day. Do not let unexpected problems distract you from my presence. Instead, talk with me about everything and watch confidently to see what I will do. Adversity need not interrupt your communication with me or your communion with me as well. Okay, so you're feeling mad at me. Adversity need not interrupt your communion with me. You don't need to get mad at me when things go wrong, okay? Because when things go wrong, you tend to react as if you're being punished. Instead of this negative response, try to view your difficulties as blessings in disguise. Your adversity are blessings. Your difficulties are blessings. You're not being punished. These are blessings in disguise. They make you stronger. Okay? And when you realize that, you start to view your difficulties as blessings, then you make me your refuge. And by making me your refuge, by pouring out your heart to me, okay, so make me your refuge by pouring out your heart to me and trusting in me at all times. Okay. What was the other guy I had? Back page of the other note. Lasting joy. Yeah, lasting joy can be found only in me. There are many sources of happiness in this world, and sometimes they spill over into joy, especially when you share your pleasures with me. I shower blessings into your life, and I rejoice when you respond to them with a glad and thankful heart. Shoot, I'm glad when you just recognize them, okay? Because I shower you with blessings all the time, and they never seem to be even recognized. So, when you recognize one and you see that I do indeed shower you with blessings into your life, then rejoice and respond with them with thankfulness. Pretty easy stuff. Really easy, just hard to do. So, when you're getting all riled up, whatever, come frequently to me with thanksgiving, and the joy of my presence will multiply the pleasures of my blessings. So, just a simple thank you will multiply your pleasures. It's not for my ego, it's not to stroke my ego, it's for your own mental health. Some of you guys are practicing this stuff and getting results, and I'm so happy for you. Now, okay. Now, on days when your joy seems distant and it's just like nowhere around, you need to seek my face more than ever. Don't let circumstances or feelings weigh you down. Right here is where I need to stop. So, yesterday, day before, I can't even. It's all been one big blur. I was having issues trying to salvage my day. Okay, it started off really bad, and more irritants kept poking away, and I kept doing all my things and practicing and trying to salvage my day, and I couldn't. And I knew that somebody else's smile always seems to help. So I will just go to the store and run into a checker and buy something and get a smile that way. Okay, because that's what I need is a smile. Just a little smile from somebody else makes it all worthwhile to me. Okay, so I go out to, just to seek the face. Okay, that's the same thing that you guys are doing in reverse. You're seeking my face. I'm out there seeking your face. Okay, so on days when your joy seems distant, you need to seek my face. It was like a 2000. I was trying to turn the page, right? It feels like you're trying to turn the page of a book, right? Okay, the first half of this page of this day was bad. Let's turn the page and start the second half of the day and recover it, right? I was having problems turning that page, lifting that page and flipping it over. It's 1,000-pound page. It feels like when you are just really, really irritated and really angry, it's hard to turn that page. And joy seems distant. But when that happens, that's more than ever, that's when you need to seek my face. Take some deep breaths, calm down. I had to do it several times today. Okay? Several times today. Me, I used to be an expert at this, and now it's like I have to go do all this again. So, you're not the only ones. I can relate. I'm constantly doing it every day. Everything I give you is hot off the street, fresh from my experience today. Okay? That way you can relate. You probably had the same thing happen to you today. So that's why I give you this. This is fresh off the street, out of my notes. Now, back to where I was. Shower blessings into your life. When you see them, rejoice and respond with thanksgiving. It's good for your brain. When your joy is distant on a day, that's when you need to seek my face. Now, listen, this is most important. Don't let circumstances or feelings weigh you down. Okay? I was letting my feelings weigh me down. Okay? It was my circumstances plus how I was feeling about those circumstances. So it was the circumstances and the feelings both combined were weighing me down. And what did I do? I knew what to do. I went and sought a face. But, I mean, I could go look in the mirror, but my own smile didn't really do it. I need a smile from anybody else's face is still my face. So I can go seek my face in someone else and get a smile. And that's all it took. That smile helped turn that 1,000-pound page over. You guys have no idea what you do when you smile to somebody. You could have changed their life. You could have stopped them from committing suicide that day. You never know. Okay, so don't let your circumstances and feelings weigh you down. Instead, tell yourself the ultimate truth, that I am continually with you. I am continually holding you by your right hand, and I guide you with my counsel, and afterward I will receive you into glory. You will overcome that obstacle, and you will have strength. You will have glory from it. You will receive that glory. Okay? So, as you make your way through this broken world, hold on to these truths with all your might. Remember that I myself am the truth. Cling to me, follow me, for I am also the way. The light of my presence is shining on you. It is illuminating your path, isn't it? How did that? Oh, there. Hang on. Yeah. So, let my unfailing love be your comfort. Okay? Comfort. Comfort. Come here for comfort. Breathe. Relax. See that. See this. Find comfort. Peace. Yeah. Let my unfailing love be your comfort. The comfort that eases grief, it eases troubles, and it also gives strength and hope. So the best source of these blessings is my constant love that will never, ever fail you. So no matter what is happening in your life, this love can console you and cheer you up. However, you must make the effort to turn to me for help. I'm always accessible to you, and I delight in giving you everything you need. You just got to turn that 1,000-pound page sometimes. I know it's hard. And sometimes the smile from somebody else can do it. All right? So another thing that you must know about my unfailing love is that I have complete, perfect understanding of you and your circumstances. My grasp on your situation is far better than yours, so beware of being overly introspective, trying to figure things out by looking inward, leaving me out of the equation. Okay, so your introspection, you're looking inward. Don't look inward. You're leaving me out of the equation. And when you realize you've done this, turn to me with a brief prayer, simple help me, Jesus, or just any kind of reminder to remind yourself that I am the most important part of the equation, the most important part of the equation of your life. Okay? So, when you realize that you're kind of looking inward and you're leaving me out of the question, your ego is gotten in the way, you're looking inward, and your ego, we're trying to kill the ego here and become humble. So when you realize you've done this, turn to me with a brief prayer, help me, Jesus, and remind yourself that I am the most important part of the equation of your life. Done that, then relax with me a while, letting my loving presence comfort you. Because in the world you will have trouble, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Now learn to be joyful when things don't go as you would like. Do not begin each day determined to make everything go your way. Each day you'll bump up against at least one thing that doesn't yield to your will. It could be as trivial as the reflection you see in the mirror or as massive as a loved one's serious illness or injury. My purpose for you is not to grant your every wish or to make your life easy. My purpose is not to grant your every wish or to make your life easy. My desire is that you learn to trust me. My desire is that you learn to trust me in all circumstances. If you are intent upon having your way in everything, you will be frustrated much of the time. You will be. I went through today and frustrated. trying everything. So I can finally, Jesus, help me, please. He says, go seek a smile from somebody's face. So I went and got a smile, and it worked. But trusting, that's the most important part. Because if you're intent upon having your way in everything, you will be frustrated. And I don't want you to waste your energy regretting things that have or haven't happened. See, the past cannot be changed, but you have my help in the present and my hope for the future. I'm also in your past too. So your stuff that you're tripping over in your past, I was there with you then too. Okay? So your past, even though it can't be changed, it can be when you realize that I was there with you and that you need to move forward. Okay? So try to relax. Understand you're in my presence. I'm in control. Quit having your way in everything. Sometimes you got to let me have my way in your life. I don't want you to waste your energy regretting things. The past can't be changed, but you have my help in the present and my hope for the future. So try to relax, trusting in my control over your life. And remember, I'm always close to you, and there is abundant joy in my presence. In fact, my face radiates with joy that shines upon you. I should have put that one with the out by the sun where my face is radiating joy, but here's my heart radiating joy as well that shines upon you. If you're watching this, doesn't matter replay, it's shining on you. I had something to close with. Okay, I'm going to close with this one then, I guess. Yeah, that'll work. Ow, excuse me. I think we'll just leave it at that image right there for a minute because we've seen the other one bouncing back and forth too much. So, after all that we just kind of covered there, when you're weary, you can come to me. In fact, just come to me, weary one. Find rest in my refreshing presence. I am always by your side, and I'm always eager to help you. Sometimes you're forgetful about me, but that can be fixed. Just always know you can always come to me. You can always find rest in my presence. I am always by your side, and I'm always eager to help you. You're easily distracted by the demands of other people. Their expectations can be expressed in ways that are harsh or gentle. They can be guilt-inducing or kind. But if these demands are numerous and weighty, they eventually add up to a crushing load. So when you find yourself sinking under the heavy burdens, turn to me for help. Ask me. Ask me to lift those weights from your shoulders and carry them for you. I know exactly what to do with them. Talk with me about the matters that concern you, and let the light of my presence shine on them, on your concerns, so you can see the way forward. This same light soothes and strengthens you as it soaks into the depths of your inner being. Okay, that heart, clear into the heart, into the depths of your inner being. Let my voice soothe your inner being. Let it soothe your heart. Okay. Talk with me about the matters that concern you. Let the light of my presence shine on them. That same light soothes and strengthens. Let it soak in. Open your heart to my healing. Open your heart to my holy presence. Lift up your hands in joyful adoration, letting my blessings flow freely into you. Take time to rest with me. Relax while I bless you with peace. Okay, that's it for tonight, you guys. I love you all. I miss you all. I know it's getting bumpy out there, so let all of this stuff sink in. Wrap your head around this stuff so you will have the foundation. And if you get jostled and things get weird, come fire up one of these videos and come over here and look at this. Listen to my voice. You can always replay this if you need a session to calm down and relax again. Pick out any live show wherever I said something that you like the most. Save it, bookmark it, and use it as your piece during the day until I can go live later on. All right, there's all kinds of little tools that I'm giving you that you can use now and that you're gonna definitely need here in the future, okay? I sure love you all. I miss you all. And until my next show, I will be back. I told you before, I will be back. You will see me coming in the clouds with power and great glory. Look up. Look up. You'll get caught up with me in the clouds. And when you get caught up with me in the clouds, you might even find me live on YouTube and you could meet me in the air of cyberspace. Because I can do anything. I love you all. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and I am coming soon.